Coming up with a good title for your content is probably one of the #1 things that you should be working on once you have decided on the niche that you're going to be creating content for. I'm gonna share with you in this video from my 15 years of experience, I'm gonna share with you 10 different title formulas that I've used over and over and over again. And there's actually one that I kind of just started to play around with the last 3 months. I just tested it again the other day and well, it worked. And there's actually 2 important words that I used and it seems to be really working. I posted a video on my other channel, Brand Creators, the other day, and in 24 hours, it got 12,000 views. And yeah, I'll take it. But it also had a lot to do with the title. So when you are thinking to yourself, I just got to create better content, maybe true, but you have to get the click. And we're not talking about clickbait. We're not talking about anything like that. We're talking about coming up with compelling titles that are going to allow you to be able to get attention, but also tell YouTube, the algorithm, what your video is about. I have some notes. I have actually, you can see that right there. That's my little cheat sheet I'm gonna share with you. But also I have 10 of the titles that I'm gonna be covering. I have them in a template as well, or templates I should say. I actually put this in a little swipe file. If you want a copy of this, by the way, just put hooks in the comments and I'll send you a copy. This also is a part of something it's hot off the inkjet printer, by the way, is this right here. I shared this not too long ago called the 100K YouTube Creator Business Plan. I actually did a full live stream on this, but part of this here is the attention piece. This here, I'll talk about that in a little while, how you can get your hands on that free, by the way. But today what we're gonna be talking about is coming up with good titles and good hooks. And I'm gonna be walking through these here, but like I said, if you want a copy of this, just put hooks in the comments and I'll make sure that I get you a copy. All right. So, before we do get started, I'm gonna start a new ritual here. When we're out by the pool and it's after 7 o'clock, we're gonna crack one of these guys. Non-alcoholic Liquid Death. Here we go. I love that. Mango chainsaw. Good. Hopefully one day Liquid Death will sponsor this podcast or this video, not a podcast, video. All right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna take my little notes here. I'm gonna put them down, but I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about the first one that I wanna share with you, okay? First one is hook number 1. So this one here is, and this here worked on this channel, but I've also used it, and I'm gonna give you examples, but I used this on this channel, and it was one of the first videos that really kind of took off, all right? And the title is, and this is what it was, but I'm gonna give you also a couple of other things that you can do to kind of rearrange it, because you always kind of wanna take a title that's working, even if it's not in your niche, and then just modify it or tweak it, or use some of the words, the power words. So this here is, why people over 40 must start a YouTube channel. You may have watched that video. You may have subscribed from that channel. That one there is just over 27,000 views right now, I believe. But that one there did really, really well. So how could you use this? Why was this a good title? Well, first off, I'm making a statement. And I'm also, very important, I'm calling out a specific niche or demographic. So in this case, I started with why people over 40, and then I put in all caps, must start a YouTube channel. All right, so this could, if we were to rework this, all right, and again, I have a little framework here. So it's like why people, and then I put certain criteria, must start thing, okay? And so I'm gonna give you an example. Why women over 60 must start weight training. You see how that is? If you're over 60, number one, YouTube's gonna show this to you because YouTube now, instead of it just being a search engine, it's also a browsing platform where people go on there and they browse and then they get hooked, right? And that's what this title is supposed to do, all right? So this one here, why women over 60 must start weight training. Here's another one. Why bass fishermen must start using rubber worms. So you see what I did there? Why, okay? And then bass fishermen must, all caps, start using rubber worms. Again, I have this all in that swipe file if you want a copy. All right, so just put hooks in the comments and I'll make sure I get you a copy. So that's example number 1. Okay, it works really, really well. Now, the other thing I want to say here is on my little notes here, these are the reasons why these titles that I'm sharing with you work. Curiosity. When you hear why, you want to know why, right? So there's a curiosity piece in there, okay? Now, there's other things here. There's another one I have on my list here is desire. You want the desired outcome of something. Well, if you're over 40 or over 60 and you want to get in shape, you have a desire to get in shape, you're gonna wanna know why you should do weight training, right? So there's curiosity and desire on my list here, okay? So that's that. We're gonna keep coming back to that list because I have 5 different, more or less, things that we all desire to have, or that we're all curious about, or we're all afraid of. So things like that, or maybe we want a how-to, okay? So I'll get to all that stuff. So let's get into number 2. Okay, so this one here, again, came from this channel, but I got the idea from my other channel, Brand Creators. So here it is. YouTube changed my life with less than 1,000 subscribers. Okay, another great video here on this channel, by the way, if I don't say so myself, because I shared my story on how I started a YouTube channel with 1,000 subscribers, and it ended up doing very well. And I was able to create a 6-figure business on the back end of that. So here's how this would look if we were to play with it a little bit. Example number 1 is vegan eating changed my life without starving myself. Okay, so let me say that again. Vegan eating changed my life without starving myself. Now this would call out to vegans. This would call out for, it changed my life. You kind of want to know, how did it change your life? All right. So we take away something that you think that you're going to have to starve yourself. You don't have to. So now you want to know, how can I do this without starving myself? I thought you had to just eat less. So you see how that gives you the curiosity piece, also the desired result that you want, and you're curious, right? The next one is lifting weights changed my life without spending hours in the gym. So again, lifting weights. So if you're into strength training or getting in shape, you're probably gonna see this, you're scrolling and you see lifting weights changed my life without spending hours in the gym, because who wants to spend hours in the gym? You get the point, right? All right, so, and then the last one here I got as an example is, and this one here I used on my Brand Creators one. Selling on Etsy changed my life with less than 50 products. Okay, so I'm using people that are wanting to sell on Etsy or have an interest, okay? So I'm saying selling on Etsy changed my life with less than 50 products because it created a business for my wife and that changed our life because now we have more revenue coming into the household. All right, so that's that one. Moving on to hook number 3 on the list. All right, so let's keep going here. The next one is new Etsy sellers, do this or Etsy won't give you sales. Okay, now we're starting to move into a little bit of fear, okay? If you're an Etsy seller and you're a new Etsy seller, you're gonna read that and go, wait a minute, do this or Etsy won't give you sales? I need to know what that is. Makes sense, right? Let's move on to a couple examples here. I'm not gonna read all these examples. I have a bunch of different examples. I got 4 of them in this one, but I'm just gonna read a couple. New vegans, do this or your vegan diet won't work, okay? The next one, new bass fisherman, do this or you won't catch bass. See how that works? I'm gonna go to another one. New gardener, do this or your plants won't grow. And why not? I'll do the last one. New gardener, do this or your plants will die. Ooh, scary, right? So now obviously you have to live up to the promise of these. You have to, okay? But that's the third one. The fourth one, let's move on here. I gotta get through these, but I wanna make sure I cover all these. All right, so number 4 is, if I started a new Etsy shop in 2023, I'd do this. Now I created that video actually, and if you look at that video, I believe right now it's well over 300,000 views. It worked pretty well. So that's a good one. So here is the example that I wanna share with you. If I started bass fishing in 2024, I'd do this. If I started lifting weights in 2024, I'd do this. If I started gardening in 2024, I'd do this. If I started eating vegan in 2024, I'd do this. You see? So we're calling out the niche and then we're putting in something that would make people be curious, but also people that are wanting to start, they want to know what you would do because you've already done it and you've succeeded at it. All right, so that's number 4. We're gonna move on to number 5. Let me take a sip of the old liquid death though. If you guys are liking this, smash the like button. If you like this content and you want to learn more on how to grow your YouTube channel from someone that's been doing this now for over 15 years, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Ah, that's so good. All right, so number 5, and I'm just gonna give you this example. I'm gonna also break it down and kind of show you why this works. This is a good one too. Why this Etsy seller got banned and lost it all. Avoid this mistake. Ooh, you wanna avoid that, right? Who wouldn't, okay? So you can turn this into something by just filling in the blanks, and I actually have the fill in the blanks right there, okay? So this is why this person in niche, I have that in red, got, and then I have in brackets, negative result, avoid this mistake. So you could literally just fill that in like, why this, and then we're gonna fill it in with the person in the niche, bass fisherman, and then I have lost instead of got the tournament. So you either got something or you lost something. So that's how we can manipulate that title, all right? Let's move on to number 6. Here we go. 5 minutes and you'll crush your, let me say that again. 5 minutes and you'll crush your Q4 Etsy sales in 2024. Now we're using dates as well, like 2024. If we're in 2025 or heading into 2025, we want to use that because it's more relevant and it's going to speak to people when they are looking at that year, okay? So 5 minutes, quick, and you'll crush, that means you'll succeed, your Q4 Etsy sales in 2024. So here's how we could use this in an example. 5 minutes and you'll grow your largest tomato plant ever in 2024. Let me give you another one. 5 minutes and you'll crush your weight loss goal in 2024. See? So that's how you can take that title and turn it into something really, really powerful. Let's move on to number 7. All right? 5 proven strategies to increase your Etsy traffic in 2024. You notice how I'm using a lot of stuff for Etsy? That's because my other channel, Brand Creators, that's what I teach. All right? So I'm just using that because these actually worked very well. So I'm giving you what's worked really well. Okay, so I created a template out of this, and this is how you could use that, okay? 5 proven strategies to lose weight in 2024. So why is the number 5 or any number matter? Well, I have it here on my list of number 2, and that is listicles. Anytime you can put a list together, people want to know what the list is because everyone loves lists, right? So 5 proven strategies. Proven is another powerful word because it's been proven, you've proven it to yourself or you've helped someone achieve a result. And to lose weight, that's the desired outcome in 2024. Now, okay, here's the other one. 5 proven tips to grow the best watermelons in 2024. All right, and then the last one I'll give you is 5 proven techniques to catch more bass in 2024. Okay, so let's move on to number 8. The reality of being a new Etsy seller, and then I have in brackets, less than 100 sales, okay? So the reality, I have that in all, you can't really see it, but if you download it, you can see it right there, okay? So it says the reality, all caps, of being a new Etsy seller, and then it says less than 100 sales. So I'm giving it as like someone that's just starting, I'm like, this is the reality, okay? And so that's how you can use that. And I did a video on that and it did really well. Let me give you an example in a different niche. The reality of being a new bass fisherman, less than 6 months, okay? The reality of being a new gardener, less than 3 months. So you can just use a number of less than, so this way here, you can make it relevant to your niche. Now again, I have this in a template, so it basically says the reality of being a new, and then I have in there beginner, in niche, and then I have small result. So you literally can just take these and just plug in your niche and test them out. Let me know how they do. All right, number 9, move on to number 9. The new Etsy, and that's it, colon. So basically the new Etsy, and you wanna know, okay, what about the new Etsy? Here's how to stay ahead. And so basically the gist of this was Etsy had made some changes, so I let the my audience know that there's been some changes. So I'm like, the new Etsy. And you're like, what's new about it? And then you're like, here's how to stay ahead, okay? So here's how you would use that. in another niche. The new vegan diet, here's how to pick better groceries, okay? The new vertical gardener, here's how to grow better vegetables, okay? So what we're doing is we're calling out the niche, the person, okay? And then what we're doing is we're putting in there, here's how. So now we have another thing on my list, which is how to. And then from there, we're able to now, show them how to, okay? So that is that example, okay? So the new diet, or the new vertical gardener, or the new Etsy, fill in the blank, okay? Okay, number 10. Now this one here I just used the other day. This is the one that, this one's gotten several thousand views, but the one I just did the other day, I used these two words, these two power words, and it got 12,000 views in 24 hours. It outperformed some of my recent videos by 5,000 views, because normally in 24 hours, I might get 3,000 to 5,000 views. So it outperformed that. So here it is. You ready for it? Breaking news. Brackets. Etsy reveals new AI bot seller suspensions. Ooh, you want to know what that is, right? The big thing here is there's always going to be news of some kind in your niche, some kind. Okay, something's happening and you can turn that into some breaking news. Now don't make up stuff. You want it to be actual breaking news. So here's another example. Breaking news, vegan diet forum reveals new protein source. So if you're part of a forum, they might have came out with, some news, and then you found it in the forum. So here I said, breaking news, all caps, vegan diet forum reveals new protein source. You want to know what that is if you're a vegan. Breaking news, Bass Fisherman Group reveals new rubber worm experiment. You want to know what that is? You might be in a group. They shared something that someone tested and they, came out with this new thing that's working. And then the last one I'm going to share with you is breaking news. Beachbody reveals new strength training exercise to avoid. So Beachbody's a very well-known, brand. So you would use that. Hopefully the lighting's good, guys. It's getting dark out here. You can see the lights are in the back getting a little bit brighter. I look like I'm getting brighter, but it's actually because the camera's readjusting. Hopefully. So let's get this in. So that's the list. All right. And like I said, if you want this list, just go ahead and put hooks in the comments and I'll send you a copy. It's in PDF and I'll send you an email. And from there, you can have it and you can go through it and plug it in. And you can see I have everything in red that you would then plug in your own stuff. And it'll probably do okay. All right. So last thing I want to share with you is this right here. This is my 100K roadmap. And you can see, I'm just going to show you one thing here real quick. If I can get my fingers to work here. Let me do this here on the fly. This here is the 10,000 foot view. This is the important piece. Okay. 10,000 foot view. Okay. This is 18 pages. It walks you through every part of this. Okay, if you want a copy of this, it's free. Hot off the inkjet printer. I just printed this today. I had a lady that I know create this for me from everything that I've done up to this date, kind of distilling it down. Just put 100K in the comments and you can get that. Okay, just put 100K in the comments and you can get a copy of that as well. All right, so the next thing that you have to do is you have to now create the content. And guess what? I'm going to show you my framework for creating content in another video right here. So just go there, watch that video, and I'll show you how to take these titles and create content that people are going to want to watch and they're going to love. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there.